Hello, hello, hello. I'm Lynn Browder, and I am painting a flower. Something different, one flower. So, I have a son, Owen, who is 11. Nope, see, every time. I don't know what it is about years and numbers, dates, birthdays, ages. I go backwards. Owen is 12. He's been 12 since March, and now I just keep wanting to go backwards. So he's 12. He's 12. He's 12. I must need to convince myself still of this. But he is 12, I promise. So I just got a frog in my throat. I'm gonna paint a sunflower. Sunflower. That's what I'm doing. Now, if you've watched before, you know when I paint flowers, a lot of times I just use one paintbrush. And I so purposely put a second paintbrush out here. I'm trying to make myself paint with a second paintbrush. So maybe, just maybe, that I will. But we'll see. So I'm filling this in with two different color greens. I just kind of like to add a little dimension that way. And I'm pretty tired tonight, so we'll see how much dimension I really get. Some days I feel like it's just interesting. We had storms. All the days are blending together now on Tuesday, and that knocked out power, lots and lots of power to lots and lots of people. And I just heard noises. I think my cat is roaming. Our house was one of the many that were knocked out with power from the storm. They said today that some of the counties had tornadoes, which the way these storms hit, it was quite wild because I was in my basement for about an hour. The sirens kept going off to take shelter immediately, and it was like we had a storm, tornadoes, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 years ago. And when I got in my basement for that one, it was much quicker and it was much louder with the storm. And I could hear, how they say there's the train noise. But with this one, it hardly made any sound for where I was. But once I came out and drove, I had to go get Owen from school because it was really hard on a lot of the kids and emotional and everything. And the city that he was in at school was hit very, very hard. And so once I got out, I realized it was really, really a bad storm. And a place near me lost its roof, and then there was tons of power lines down and trees down. And so even though it didn't sound very loud where I was, within blocks of me, there was tons and tons of damage. So there are people that are still just now getting their power back. We got our power back last night. And then there's some that are still without power. roads still blocked from big trees that are down, and just one thing after another, and it's so hard to kind of just like get some of that moved when there's so many other things that are keeping it from being moved, like the power, or when the roads are washed out or whatever. I am by no means an expert on any of that, but just watching some of the things, and when they said I had taken Owen to my mom yesterday, he went there today again because I had an appointment this morning, and when I got home about 6 o'clock, they said that our power would be on by 9 that night. And I couldn't even imagine that the power would be on because of all the downline. I mean, I know they were working so hard and diligent to get it all done. So I couldn't even imagine that they would be able to get it done by that quickly. I know they know what they're doing, but that just seemed like so much for everything they had to be done. But they got it up, and so I can, if it took as long as it did for us with all the damage, I can only imagine with some of these places that are so much more either remote or just the roads messed up or the big trees. So I am extremely grateful and thankful for everyone that's working so hard to get us back running. But they did cancel school again for the kids because still so many are out of power. So I'm really, really hoping that they can get the rest of everyone back up soon and back to business. So Owen is out of school tomorrow, and hopefully, depending on how he sleeps and how the morning goes, we've got some things we're going to go and do. So we shall see. So I think that is, I always say that I like to watch paint dry. And when I was doing this background I had with Owen, there was many things I was thinking that I would paint on here. And then when I sat down, I decided, you know what? I'm putting a sunflower on there because I like to see how the colors, if you've ever watched before, I always say I like to see how paint dries. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So that is that. And I always sign O for Owen, and then L and B. So there we go. And I did not use the extra. I knew I wouldn't. I knew pretty much I wouldn't, but I try to make myself occasionally do it. I like how when I use, I just stuck the whole paintbrush. You see, this is what I do. I make messes. But I like how when I use the one paintbrush, it just adds the extra colors and textures and everything in it. So, now that I'm I was done, but I'm going to put a little of this brighter green. Oops, now see, this is why I don't generally keep painting, because then I I hit something and it keeps going and going and going. So, okay, I'm done. Paintbrush down. So thanks so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day. Toodles!